Hiya guys, it's the Camo Carper back with another video today. So I've been thinking about what rig to show you, and I thought the next one I could show you was the runny rig, because it's quite a simple rig to make. It's quite a versatile rig, and yeah. So I'll just show you what we need for this rig today. So the first thing we'll need is a boom section. Personally, I use this Corda boom section in 25 lb breaking strain. Next thing you'll need is some crimping pliers. I personally use the Corda crimping pliers. They're quite hard to find at the moment in tackle shops around the country, but I was quite lucky to get a pair. You'll obviously need some scissors, as you will with most rigs. You will need some crimps. Now, it's very important that you get the right size crimps for the size of your boom. For 25 lb boom, we're going to be using 0.6 size crimps today. Next thing you'll need is a hook, obviously. Can't catch many fish without a hook. Just put that there. You will also need a kicker, which is quite a vital piece of your rig. A pulling tool is not necessary, but it helps the rig be made. Just makes life a little bit easier for you. Some weights. You'll need these if you're using pop-ups, but if you're using wafters, then you shouldn't need them. The swivel should be enough to keep your rig down. And we're going to be using a spin swivel. Now, these are just a swivel that you can, focus. Put your hook on. I'll just show you what they do as we get into the rig. And you'll need a bait screw as well, or you could use a micro swivel, but today we'll be using bait screws. And last but not least, an anti-tangle sleeve. So guys, I'll just show you, move everything out of the way, and I'll just start the rig. It looks quite a lot of stuff that you'll need. However, what I will say is, a lot of this stuff, once you've got it, you're only buying it once, such as the crimping pliers. Right, so the first part of your rig is going to be taking some boom material. Now, this obviously all depends on what length you want your rigs. So today I'll be making roughly about a 7 to 8 inch rig. So we'll just take about 8 inches, maybe a little bit more, just because we've got to cut some off. So we'll just cut that there. Just like that. Now that's your boom out of the way. The first step for me, I always crimp my loop on one end. Just so that's out of the way, that's done for your rig. So first what you'll need your crimps. Now, as I said, 0.6 crimps for 25 lb boom. Just need to take one of these. Now, if you look at a crimp, it's actually got 2 barrels. All we're going to be doing now is just putting your boom material through one of the barrels. Just like that. Obviously, it doesn't matter which end you're putting the boom material in, as we haven't actually done anything yet. And now that's through one of the barrels in the crimp. The next step is just going to be passing the boom just through the other barrel. Just like that. And I would recommend a bit of a smaller loop, as big loops in crimps actually create a weakness. So we'll just pull that down to just about that. Now, I've just left a little tag in there. That's just in case the crimp happens to slip, only just a little bit. So to crimp this, we need our crimping tool. Now, these Corda ones, if you can see there, guys, it says small and then large, and then you've got your cutters. Today we're going to be using the small size, as the large is for the 0.7 size crimps. So to crimp this, what we're going to do, just grab your crimp, and you want to get the barrels facing you on the side like that, and just place them sideways into your crimping tool. Just close it like that. Just make sure that when it's in your crimping tool, it's laid correctly. and it's not slipped. And all you're going to do is give it a really good squeeze. Just like that. Now, if you give it a really hard squeeze, it's just going to ensure that your crimp doesn't move and it's not going to slip. So our next step is, just before we do anything else on this end, put your anti-tangle sleeve on. Now, sometimes, including me, I've done hundreds of runny rigs, but sometimes I even forget to put my anti-tangle sleeve on. So I'm just going to thread that on to this other end that we haven't done anything with. Just like that. There we go. We can just pull that up to there, and now that's one end of your rig done already. Now the next step, we're just going to grab our spin swivel. Hi guys, sorry about that. Couldn't find my swivel. Quite small pieces of kit to lose, especially when you've got a black backdrop. So the next step is, you're just going to look at your swivel and you're going to get the normal end of it, which is just this end that's got the loop in. And you're just going to get your crimp, which is the first thing you need to do. So you've found that side of the swivel. You just get your crimps, which are over here. And we'll just get one out. So for this rig, guys, you only need 2 crimps if you do it right the first time, which is quite an easy rig to get the handle of. Shouldn't take you too long to get used to it. So the next step is, you've got your crimp, you're just putting it through one barrel, just like that. So it's through one barrel of the crimp. Now the next step is to get your swivel and just pass it through the end that we found earlier, just like that. So it should just look like that. Now, get this end of the boom and you just want to pass it through the other end of the crimp, just like that. And just pull it up tight, just like that. So I like to create quite a small loop, just so it's quite tight and it's not got much wiggle room. The next step will just be crimping it again with our crimping tool. Helps quite a bit if you just hold the swivel just like that to hold it out. Once again, we're going to be using the small gauge on our crimping tool. So we'll just pop that in there. Just like that. And just make sure that it's in the pocket, which is a good job I checked, because it wasn't. Now that's quite an important thing to do, because quite a lot of people will just feel it and think, yeah, that's in right, but you'll end up crushing the crimp incorrectly. So it's in properly, and just give it a good squeeze, just like before. So we'll just pop that out, just like that. So there you go, guys. Now the next step, what I like to do is prepare my hook. Now what I like to do, you need to use your kicker here. So if you look at your kicker, you've got a fat end and a thin end. What you want to do, you just want to get your fat end and just pass it through, just like that. It's quite hard when you've got sharp hooks because they stick into this rubber, but eventually you'll just pass it through, just like that, and it'll just push to the bottom, just like that. Now the next step is placing your bait screw onto your hook. Now this bait screw, the use of it is to attach your bait. And it's quite a simple way of attaching your bait. So we'll just slide this on. Just like that then, guys. Now to stop your bait screw coming off, this is where your hook beads come in. And just want to slide one of those on. Try and be careful not to put the hook through your finger, guys, as it is quite a fiddly little job, and it could end up in some slippages. Now we just want to break that off just like that. And we'll just push it back a bit to where we want it. Now this is where our prepared hook and the boom come together. What you want to do, you just want to get your boom, get your hook, and just hook them through each other just like that, through the eye of the hook, and pull your kicker down over the swivel. So just like that, guys. Now, if you were to be using wafting baits on this rig, that is your rig finished. However, if you would like to use pop-ups on your rig, then I'm just going to show you what weights I use to add on to obviously stop the pop-up from bringing your rig off the lake bed. Now, I like to use these Fox quick change pop-up weights. These are very easy to fit on your rig. First step you want to do is just pop one out. Just like that. Now, inside the pop-up weight is some rubber. Now, the first time I actually bought these, I didn't notice it, and I was really confused on how the weights would stay on my line. However, if you just see on the side there, there's a little bit of rubber poking out. So if you just grab that and just pull it. Now this just fixes your bead onto your boom section. So what we'll do is, they've just got a little slit in them. Just push it over it just like that. And stretch your rubber. And it'll just slot in just like that. And just pull it back through, just so you're not wasting it, guys. Just like that. And cut your excess off. Now the great thing about these weights, guys, is you can move them up and down your line. I'm not sure why you'd want to, but it's just in case you want to check your crimp or something, you can move them out of the way. Now that is your finished rig, guys. I personally use curved shank hooks on runny rigs, as I believe it creates a bit more of a fierce bend, just for the fish to get hooked on. And if that's just set up off the lake bed, it's just like a claw. Any fish to suck your bait in is going to get absolutely nailed in the bottom lip. Now I'm just going to show you how to attach your bait to a bait screw, just in case any of you haven't used one before. Just show you. These are just 15mm pop-ups. We'll just get your bait screw, and as the name suggests, push it in a little bit and just screw it in. So just like that, guys, that's your finished rig. Hope you enjoyed the video. Just one last thing I'd like to add. The boom section, if it is just a little bit bent, you can steam it or get two pulling tools and just pull it and give it a tug just to stretch it out. I just tend to run it through my fingers a bit just to try and straighten it out a bit, and it's landed me quite a few fish, so I've not had any problems with it at all. I hope you enjoyed the video today. I have actually got a tripod, so I hope that's improving the feel of the video for you guys and just making it a little bit better. But I will be uploading this weekend with hopefully a pike fishing video. That might change just depending on weather and so on. But thank you ever so much for watching, guys. I hope you and your family are staying safe, and I hope you're having a great week. See you later.